Hi everyone. So today let's discuss about channel health. Now, what is channel health? Is in a general trade business, how it operates is, let's say I am a manufacturer. I manufacture produce some goods. Let's say I am in a business of consumer goods. Let's say biscuit. I am a biscuit manufacturer. So I manufacture it, and I have multiple ways to reach to the consumer, to the actual end user. One very dominant and efficient and that is most prevalent way to reach the market or route to the market is the through channel, through my distributor, through my retailer. So that is what is my channel. My channel is distributor, the retailer, the consumer. I get some stockist, I get some distributor who then forward it to retailers, and at the end consumer purchases from the retailer, a general trade application. And besides that, we have a D2C or direct to consumer that we have seen recently. Many businesses using their own website and everything. They have their own transportation and everything. They directly reach to the consumer. But again, the D2C companies or the products, even though they started as a D2C, just an example of the whole goods for the recently a company by protein powder brand. The complete truth or some honest, I don't know, influencer. He also launched the protein powder brand or many clothing brands or so. Even though they start as a D2C brand to gain the initial set of consumers, but they know that if they want to scale to reach the actual users, the mass scale of the end my user, they want to increase their width of the user depth. So they have to use this general trade channel strategy or the channel flow where we have the distributor, we have the retailers, we have the stockists, and that flow they have to do. They have to reach to the physical stores that is nearest to their consumer. So if you see now, take example of Whole Foods, even though they start as a D2C, they have their own website, they have their transport and only available in major metropolitan cities and everything. And this was the first stage of this. And once they have this stage going on, they have built momentum, they have enough, say, product market fit or enough data, how consumer is liking of it, or which taste is suiting to which consumer. They have everything. They think of scaling a stage 2 or phase 2. Now they will list on the e-commerce website. Even though they know that listing on the e-commerce website eats into their business, because e-commerce website like Flipkart and Amazon or anything, they do not share much data. Manufacturer or the brand, they do not share much data to the brands. Like how these are actually aggregator platforms. E-commerce is an aggregator platform. They list multiple brands and they can sell their products. But even though there is a rule that they cannot sell their own products on the e-commerce or aggregator website, but then they do. They have the basic version of everything. Amazon, Flipkart, they do have their own product. So okay, coming back to this, so Whole Truth, they have listed on the e-commerce platforms. Now there is another channel called quick commerce, a subset of the online commerce only. It's just the timing part of it. So they have listed on the quick commerce also. So these are the different channels. So one prevalent and dominant tier channel is the distributor or retailer consumer. This channel, how multiple large FMCG companies, brands, pharmas, they follow this approach. They have some distributor stockist in a operational zone or the territory they divide, and which serves the let's say 500 retailers, 500 or 2000 distributors, stockists up to the 200 distributors, like that. So understanding that, how, let's say I'm a new manufacturer trying to launch in a market, I want to understand, I want to measure my channel, measure the health of my channel or the scope of my channel, that how what is the number of distributors I have, or the number of distributor I have is sufficient for the kind of product SKU, the length of the SKU, the portfolio of products that I have, is that enough? So, like that, understanding these channels, how many salesperson do I have? Is that enough for the market I'm serving? Is that enough for the consumer that I want to target? Is that enough for the order SKUs that I have? So, for all these, there are different metrics and formulas and everything. I think they do teach in the MBA schools and everything how to measure this. Larger FMCG brands, they have this. So, for that only, I got to know about this formulas and everything. So, I tried to build a dashboard where if I know the number of distributors I have, number of retailers I have, number of salesperson I have, number of SKUs I have, so I can have the rough figure, rough idea of whether my performance, my channel, my efficiency, that is working fine, or whether I need some improvement, or I wish to add more salesperson, or increase my stores, or increase my distributor, like that. So let's say here we have a selection of industry type, because industry type is very key point. It significantly impacts the number of distributors or the salesperson and everything. So let's say I've selected in FMCG and my product count is 50. Product count is 50. That means that I have a let's say mid to tier kind of a uh, product SKU, because the companies large FMCG, ITC, and uh, uh, other companies, Hindustan, HUL, Unilever, they have a means more than 2,000 products count. Their product count is very large. So then they categorize their products into premium segment, mass segment, like that. So that is another way of segmenting the products. So let's say I've taken a number of, let's say I set number of 120 to my product, and the retailers I serve is 5,000 or 5,000, yes, 5,000, and my distributor count is 20. Stockist is 200. That is wrong. Stockist cannot be 200. Stockists are the upper funnel of the distributor. They stock your products. Their main goal, their number is always lesser than the distributor, because they serve the distributor. So it has to be, let's say, for the 50 distributors, if I have stockist, I think around 11 to 12 is fine. It depends again on the geography I am serving, but number has to be less, and the sales team number also seems to be very high. So I will make this 15 to, let's say, 14 sales team now. Now this is my order count. How many orders I am getting? The sales team which is going in the market and performing various activity, getting the order, fulfilling that orders. So let's say I'm getting 8,000 orders per day or per month. Now I want to simulate this. Now let's see what are the different metrics I have. Now this is a scorecard of 7 healthy metrics. One I have gone warning and one is a critical risk. Now first look at this. This is a channel structure. Now channel structure and growth. Now what is my retailer to distributor ratio? It measures how many retailers a single distributor is serving or managed to cater to. So industry benchmark is around 150 to 400, and my distributor load is 111. So that is good range. Now this copy, this is a pitching copy. Pitching copy means that, let's say I have a sales team, I'm selling some software or something, and I want to serve this distribution business, serve this um, business. I'm selling some product to this kind of business. So I can have this copy ready to for my sales team to pitch this businesses that based on the distribution load you have, how you should optimize my solution or something like that. So for now, we will ignore this pitch copy. We will focus on this retailer to distributor ratio. So it measures how many retailers a single distributor manages on average. So one distributor, how many retailers? Now this is stockist to distributor. How many stockists are similar to retailer to distributor? This is stockist to distributor. How many distributors one stockist serves? So it is measuring multi-tier supply chain thickness. Now this is multi-tier means from a stockist to a distributor to a retailer to consumer. So this is multi-tier. So industry benchmark is not available, and tier 2 density is 0.3. So I don't know whether this is correct or good range, in a fine range or a good. Now third one is the distributor productivity. Now it is fulfillment capacity. Now it is based on the order volume. How many orders I am getting and how well the distributor is able to fulfill that order. Fulfillment capacity 100% per period. The industry benchmark 191. So that means it is a in a good range. Now let us move to the second. Now my sales force efficiency, my sales team efficiency. Now how many retailers my one salesperson covers? The number of retailers assigned to a single salesperson. So industry benchmark is 300 to 600, and currently the representative bandwidth is 367. That is fine. Now order productivity per representative. How many orders a single salesperson is able to get? And it seems to be very high, 627. Industry average is 82. Now what is per distributor? How many distributor my salesperson is able to cover? If distributor covers an adequate sales, industry benchmark is 1 to 5, and my coverage is very low. Now my outlet activity. Outlet means average order placed per unique retailer. How many? Now for me, since I am a manufacturer and a brand, so I am only concerned about this my channel. My channel is stockist, distributor, and the retailer. And salesperson is the person, is my team that manages all these parts, manages this fulfillment, order, and every process. So average order placed per unique retailer. So industry average is 1 to 3, and my benchmark is my number is 1.7. So this also is fine. SKU load per salesperson. How many SKU, how many order SKU, how many product SKU a single salesperson has to serve. Now this means the complexity of the catalog. Each salesperson must push catalog weight 8.7. Industry benchmark is less than 100. So this also seems to be more than enough, more than fine. So this is very becomes complex and chaotic for the large scale brands where they have multiple SKU involved. So each salesperson are divided by the segment itself, the premium segment, general segment, or the category itself. Let's say I'm selling health category, food category, all them. So they are they divide those salespersons. Now this is assortment density. Assortment density means how many the SKUs that I have and number of SKU a single retailer or a single outlet is keeping. How many order SKU a single outlet is keeping. The range of outlet, the range of SKUs that I have. Now product universe related to the retailer base. How many retailers I have and how many SKUs they are keeping. Okay, this is related to that thing for yeah. And this is the live report. I think again it is prepared by this Gemini AI Studio. Anyone can prepare this. I think this was one thing I wanted to say. Another thing is related to that. Everyone is heard about this cloud methods. They have, I think it was leaked on the internet. They're reporting that they have launched this for cyber security. They have partnered with multiple Google, Amazon, and everything. So it is mainly now they promise that Opus 4.6, I think that is their latest model, is identifying cybersecurity or the issues in operating system and many programming, many things. So this is their percentage of model generated a successful exploit. They are able to identify the vulnerabilities and able to exploit that also. So this they have divided based on the model. Now Sonnet 4.6, Focus 4.6, and Mythos 4.6. So their latest model. But mainly I think it is one of their way to launch. Like other models, Sonnet 4.6 and Focus 4.6, they have, I think, is to deflect the potential uh, pushback or the response in the general media or the general public. They have chosen this cyber security path. That this model is very powerful or very capable. Now, rather than using in a general application or in other applications where it is very difficult to anticipate its result and everything, so they have decided to put this into cyber security. So rather than using it for any other purpose, we are using it for the security purpose. And they have given many details, like they have used this for, this is for Firefox cell exploitation they have done, and different models I told you. So how many crashes it was able to achieve in tier 1 and tier 2, and below crashes at tier 3, full control flow hijack of 10 separate fully test target. So they have done integration or partnership with many companies, Google, Amazon, and everything. And this is their, now you see, earlier I read this in Anthropic platform, but now I think they have launched a different website called red.anthropic.com. Now Red is I think Google also has a Red team. Mainly their job is to test the software, uh, exploit the software that is built. Their only job is to exploit and find the vulnerabilities in the software. Google also has internal red team, which their job is only to find the vulnerabilities before anyone else finds it, and how to break the system. That is only their job is. That's why they have also used to this Google red team. Okay, I think that's all. And suggestions for Defender today. Yes, there. Yes, here I read in Project Glasswing announcement. So earlier they had this in here, Project Glasswing. Yes. So here I read it earlier. Now they have moved everything, all content on this Red and everything. They have partnership with this. They have partnership with Cisco and everything. Cisco, and this is all the benchmark. Then identity coding resource. Now, why they have named Glasswing? This one I liked it very much. A project is named from the Glasswing butterfly, Greta Auto. The metaphor can be applied in two ways. The butterfly is a transparent wing. Let it hide in plain sight, much like the vulnerability discussed in this post. We also like to evade harm, like the transparency we are advocating for our approach. Okay. What they are saying is security professionals whose legitimate work is affected by this safeguard will be able to apply to an upcoming cyber verification program. I don't know when they will launch that. Anthropic also has been ongoing discussion with the US government officials or client Mythos reviewing its offensive and defensive cyber capabilities. Also, if you remember in the previous news, Anthropic has refused to participate or allow the US government to use its software in the defense capabilities. And so I think they let it out in the market, and just to differentiate themselves from the other major player, OpenAI, and they agreed to do whatever the US defense team asked them to do, and however they want to utilize their software. Okay, that was really yes. This is offensive defensive cyber capability. As we noted, about securing critical infra is the top in security threat for democratic countries. The emergence of this cyber capability is another reason why the US must maintain a decisive lead in AI technology. Now, this points US and its allies maintaining a decisive lead in AI technology is, I think, is a point towards the other countries, and mostly in toward the China, which has, apart from all the restrictions that have been put by the US government regarding the chip export, they have managed to, I think, still their model, latest model. I think in another news article they have mentioned that Chinese model have been very uh, fast and able to distill all the data and every point learning of their model. Now I think this is the program interview partnership with the model. Palo Alto. This is a very company in the switching and networking. Palo Alto, Nvidia, JP Morgan, Microsoft, and Broadcom. CrowdStrike, again it is a security company. Okay, that's all. And let's see in the next video. I will share some other things that I am working on understanding.